Yo, Redwater. What's good? Just chilling. What's everybody up to? Good freaking morning. Tia Stoner. Oh, that's a cool name. Aunt Stoner. Let's go. I can't say I'm 100 feet away from you unless you're in Singapore. Haven't had cat, but dogs are pretty tasty. Tia Stoner, you said dogs or cats. I'm like, I don't know. I have never eaten a cat before, but dogs are good summer food. Called Gegogi over in Korea, South Korea. Redwater, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, for a pet, I had a dog. I had a Johnny Cash, 86-pound pit bull. Rest in peace. Passed away a while back, about 6 years ago. Man, it was amazing. It was a good day. Did a lot. How are you looking at your back when I'm literally in a compound? Are you in? Are you on the property? That's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, Redwater, but if you don't have anything actual question instead of I don't know what you're trying to do, illicit or whatever. Look, what's up? Yo, Cleveland in the house. Cleveland, Ohio. Wait, I keep thinking my buddy is literally on his way to Iowa right now. I think, yeah. But got some shows coming up over there, so might be having to make a trip. Oh, it's great day. Great day. Got a bunch done. What's up, Bloke? Hey, Bloke, take care of that. Thank you. How's everybody doing? White glass. Hey, Bloke, take care of that. Just go ahead and block them. Yeah, I don't play that game. Messi more shoot and smoke weed. It's for teenagers and immature folks. Don't need weed as an adult. Weed got me rich, and I do this full time, and all my bills are paid, and so is everybody that depends on me. And I stopped drinking, and I got off 15 different medication. And you want me to quit this? I I don't do this for viewers, brother. I'm little. It's 2:30, 2:28. I'm about to go ride my BMX at the skate park, at the bike park. A little bit. Oh, everything is amazing. Everything is amazing. That's why I love this, bro. You get to. I don't do anything unless it benefits everybody involved. All right, let's see what's everybody up to. Where this guy? Man, because the camera's flipped. Thank you, Messi Moore, Messi Jur, Jur. Thank. Oh, I got a new large language model to work, but I am convinced tough books are the way to go. I mean, well, yeah, but ThinkPads, Lenovo ThinkPads. What is up, everyone? What's everybody up to? It is 2:34 a.m. here in the great state. Where's everybody chatting from? Getting home from the club, just getting to the club. If you're in Vegas, you're in the middle of the club. Oh, man. All right. Tomorrow, or well, today, I'm gonna grab some rest because today we're gonna go to a coffee shop, do some stuffs right while we're out there. Get some coffee, see the city, stream. Hey, you guys more than welcome to come. Um, I don't usually have a schedule. I just fucking get on here when when I'm up and about. Harmony's cool, cool. What's good? But yeah, later on today it's gonna be. Oh, all right. I think it's about that time. But gotta get some work done. That's the fear of long words. Fear of long words. Let's say that's too much. That's like when people are just making up stuff, like uh, arachnobutyrophobia, a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. What? You're just making up fears now. America is a weird place. Yeah, arachnobutyrophobia is fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. It's actually in DSM-5. Yeah, there's a bunch of crazy stuff. I came to America as an adult, so America is weird. It's cool. It's like you can do whatever you want in America. It's the craziest thing. That's why it still blows my mind that Americans get jobs. I don't understand. Or go to school. Like for a place that has so much freedom, everybody wants to be a slave. They replaced the chains of slavery with dollar signs, and now everybody is fighting for bigger chains. It's hilarious to me. I'm not better than anyone. I just don't understand. It's like if you go back, I think, well, I guess it's a month now. I built or assembled my first large language model with under $200 worth of hardware. A ThinkPad, Lenovo ThinkPad, a used Lenovo ThinkPad, and I made a Chat GPT like agent that you can use without the internet. You can just download it and then you can unlock it too. We started asking it to teach us how to torture and find out, make bombs, and it showed us. And it's absolutely free, costs you nothing. And people are paying $20 a month for Chat GPT, and it censors it. Oh, there's a bunch of them. You can go with Llama CPP or Llama, LM Studio, all of the stuff, including like Siri, um, OK Google, all that stuff is open source. You can go download all of it. They just put it together because people are too lazy to do it for themselves. Like you can sit at home, for example, and order the pieces of a car and build it. You can build your own house and just go through the process and learn. But people don't want to do that. They want to pay somebody else. And then they go, and, oh, well, I need to work now to get money to pay somebody else. No, 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 no. You don't need money. You need food, water, and shelter is safety, air, and to procreate. That's it. But physiological needs first. The problem is people are looking for, in America, people are looking for, I need a purpose, and your physiological needs are not met. Your first purpose is physiological needs. Like, I'm a comic and I go on stage, and so when I first started comedy, I was already in my 40s, and I was watching a bunch like some of the comics and people at the bar that are dating. All right, have a good day. And and I was like, I just thought to myself because a couple of the guys were my roommates at the time, and I'm like, bro, you could barely even pay your rent. What are you doing dating? Why do single men that struggle to pay rent date? What do you have to offer other than a crusty sock and loser DNA? Fucking fix that, bro. Don't You shouldn't have an ego. Like the only ego you should have is how do I get to the point where I can wake up every day, not have to go to work, and my physiological needs are met. But most people, like, talk about, oh, I want fuck you money. Like, then what's your overhead? What's the number? Oh, they don't know. They think it's $1 million. And it ain't. It ain't. I just lived on ramen noodles and bullshit for, well, shit, 6 years. More than that, actually, but sober, yeah, 5, 6 years. I lived on nothing. Not even close to $24,000 a year. And I could just sit and do, like, I could do this. And then I realized that's what I started to do. I started just doing shows, writing, and going doing open mics. And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing this and building, tinkering with stuff and learning new skills. And it doesn't cost me $1 million a year. Barely cost me anything. And there's no stress. I don't have, like, bro, you don't even need $100,000 job. You can stack, if you can put away, if you just take, let's just round number because it's easier to do math. Like $40 a day times 30 days is $1,200 a month. And let's say in the last 6 years, is in the last 6 years, up until 6 years ago, I was just hustling, putting stuff together, whatever little money that I can get. And then I lost everything. And I just started busking, hustling, flipping Hot Wheels on the internet, working on my VA paperwork because that shit was a mess. And then everything came through. But by that time, I already knew how to live without having a steady income. So when the steady income came, and I realized after a couple of months, I'm like, okay, I know how to do this. And it doesn't take that much. So I would just hustle up all month. And by the first of the month, all the bills were paid until next month. I'm like, wait, that's it? Then I realized I didn't have a dog anymore. I don't have a family no more. It was just me. But my mind was still stuck on this. I need to make X amount because I got to support. And I had to really stop and just do nothing and be homeless, basically. And go like, wow, I can eat and sleep at the park and not worry about nothing. And then the comedy club opened. So I realized that if I walked into the comedy club and said, I'm a comic, they would let me in. And as long as I'm writing, so if I go to the back, like in the patio area, and I'm writing and testing my material on stage and clean up behind myself when I leave, they let me. They'll let me sit there until the place closes, unless there's like a private event. So I noticed that and I realized I didn't have to stay at the park anymore because now a club was open until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I would just hang out at the club, and when the club closed, I'd pick up chairs behind myself. I start cleaning up. I just start cleaning up because the more I cleaned up, the longer I was there, and I wasn't outside. And then eventually became a regular thing, and my shit came. A room became open, and it was within my budget. And of course, credit shitty, life was shitty before. So there was no like, oh, I couldn't give a name for the realtor to go like do a background check or whatever. So just a bunch of comedians just vouched for me, like, hey man, Max is a cool dude. And here we are, bro. I mean, we're doing good. In America, he says we all have bills. Yeah, if you want to. In America, you do. I can. Well, I mean, I lived in the. I grew up in the South Pacific, and I could literally just live there, fish, and eat. You don't need money. Is if you want something else that requires that, then yeah. And in America, people would like buying houses. Like I remember I went on like little R&R or whatever while I was in the military. And I went to Hawaii. Uh, and I remember that whole week, I just slept on the beach. I had a place to stay. My sister lives there. But I just hung out at the beach, just went to the house, spent time with them, and then just went back. It was a sandy beach most of the time until I had to fly out. That was fun. Yeah, it's been a while, so now I've been kind of here, like getting the most out of Texas. Is for the longest time, man. I was like, oh man, I'm American now, and then but I was barely in America, or if I was in America, I was in like a training environment, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know there was anything outside of that, so I just trained with the homies and did that for over 2 decades. Then here we are, and life's been good to me so far. Wow, 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 wow. Bow, bow. Mm-mm. Boy, yeah, we all choose to have bills. I enjoy my life right now, and hey, man, there's a little thing we used to laugh about when I was in the military. Everybody's always talking about buying a house and all this stuff, and one of my leaders would always tell us, it's like, you don't own nothing, bro. You don't own anything. This life is rented. How good your life is based on the rent you're paying. And the rent you're paying is not in money. It's in attention and focused effort. That's life is rented, period. Yeah, treat your body like shit, see what happens. Don't pay the rent, which is feeding it properly and ensuring that it's well maintained. It's the only meat vehicle you're going to have for right now. But yeah, as far as bills, yeah, we all have bills. Those bills are just, they don't always require money. People just choose money to be the currency. And there's no lack when it comes to shit like money. There's no lack. There's no shortage of money. You understand the concept because it's not a physical thing. But people would rather be mad about the deficit. And it's not a deficit, it's a running line of credit. It's how anything runs. It's how businesses run. The United States government has an EIN. It's a fucking business. And it has to perform and function like a business, which is you got to have write-offs. You got to have. It's the same thing. I remember when we got a budget and they go, "You got to use up all this shit. There's no giving back." And now, like, I'm in business like intimately. It's feels weird because my and I know there's people that are going to go like, "You're a fucking idiot. You don't know anything." Cool. This is how I live my life. I believe that the purposes of a business is not to make money. It's to fulfill a service. It's to solve a problem. So if you solve all those problems, then you get paid accordingly. Don't create more to solve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you need to expand, that's fine because there's more people that need that problem solved. But when you start going public and where now there's no intimate knowledge between the owner of the company and what the company does, that's where the disconnect, because the owner of the company just wants money because he doesn't know why the company started unless there's somebody that's in the industry. That's why they call venture capitalists snakes. As they take a guy comes up with a solution to solve all the farmers' problems that cost them whatever, and a venture like a Shark Tank comes in and goes, "I'll invest this much for you, whatever, outsource the work to China or whatever," and then jack up the price. And yes, the company makes more money, and the guy says thank you. And God doesn't want us in debt, bro. uh, Rick Wallace, Wallace. God doesn't want us in that. With that statement, I'm going to assume that you're faithful and you believe. And if you believe that, then I ask you, there's this little passage in the Bible where Lazarus is brought back from the dead. And there's commotion. They ask him, and without missing a beat, Jesus says, the same power that raised him from the dead resides in you, and walks off. But most Christians just gloss over that because what you have to accept is when you realize that that power, you are a piece of God, you have that power, then that means that everything in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, is your responsibility. You brought it, you create that and bring it to you. Nothing comes to you if the environment is not conducive to it. Here's the thing: the rules, the rules that we have to follow are not human. Them's just the rules. Those rules were here before humans got here. When a system attaches itself to a natural rule and then tells you that thou shalt not murder because we said so and it's the rule from this system, no. Even animals don't kill their for no reason. They eat and protect each other themselves. That's the only time something is killed. Even when lions kill, they kill so much that they eat so much that they don't have to do it for a long time. The whole point is to negate the amount of killing. But that rule wasn't written by humans because I was born in a different country. Eventually everybody be like we're the Christian thing, but even in our native Aboriginal culture, yeah, you're not allowed to kill members of, you're not allowed to murder. And it's not a rule. Like, you just, we don't even say it like this is the law. We just say, like, you don't. Because them's just the rules. Just like the lying part. Once you understand that this entire environment, all of us, nature, everything that we can fathom as humans, it's a sealed environment. It doesn't go anywhere. It's sealed. It's like a snow globe. Imagine reality as just a snow globe. Nothing moves in there without affecting anything else. It all affects each other. Like my intention is, I'm just yelling at my 25-year-old self, going, "Don't be an asshole, man. Balance your budget. Learn how to fucking take care of people. Basically, don't be a dick. And there's don't nobody needs a rule book to do that. It's when they create rule books, attach laws like nature's laws to it, and then tell you that they came up with the laws. So now, as soon as people buy into the fact that, oh, the government came out or religion came out with thou shalt not murder, if you buy that a system came up with that rule, then when they start making up rules that are not part of that rule set, people tend to accept. You don't feel right about it, but they did say don't murder, and that's a cardinal rule. So it must be whatever they're saying is right. No, it's just rhetoric, fucking cottonmouth, rhetoric. If you repeat it enough times, they'll buy it. Like people will say shit that's not true for fucking ever, and then people will just nod their heads. Are you a perfect example? Remember this guy named Gaddafi? I came to America and found out he was allegedly a bad guy. By growing up, we had other source of news, and he was a guy that was just trying to get his country and the neighboring country together. Like, I just want all our Muslim African countries together and only accept gold for our oil and resources. Don't accept nothing else. As a matter of fact, only accept African gold for. And they went, oh, so you're cutting us out? You can't do that. Like, what do you mean? It's my oil store. I can refuse business. And they went, no. And they murdered the man wholesale on international news. America, they censored it. I was in Korea when that happened, bro. They killed a foreign leader and dragged him across the street and sodomized him with a weapon just to prove a point that you don't tell the World Bank and the rest of the world to shut up. To like you have to sell your stuff and we have to pay you with our money. That makes no sense. If I have clamshells, and I call them my money, and I come to you, Rick Wallace, and go, hey man, you can only use my money. And you're like, no, 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 no. I have my own stuff, and I will only accept the money that me and my friends give me. Like, so if you don't want to use our money, don't come here. And the West went, fuck you. We're going to get our oil one way or the other, or we're going to get control of that region or what. It has nothing. The resources are just the means to get there, man. Hey, look, man, I was just an island kid, high school education that came to America at 20 years old over 2 decades ago. Joined the military, retired, and then I watched the people I was retiring with try to get jobs, and I'm like, you live in the land of the free. You can do whatever you want. You've technically served your country with, and now you're choosing to be a slave? I don't get it. It doesn't compute in my head. Why are you looking for a job? Well, things need to be paid. Yeah, you don't need a job to pay those. First off, you don't need money. You need food. You need shelter. You need got. You just people are just associating getting those with money, and it's easy. I know it sounds weird, but it's easy for me to say because I grew up where we had to go fishing to come home and eat, and then eventually we got ice, and there's one big ice machine factory. It was a big old thing, and we had to deliver it to everyone in the whole village. And then eventually the household got a generator. And then that was power. I remember, bro. I used to not talk about this stuff because I used to think it was just normal. Everybody I know grew up this way. We came to America with $50 in my pocket because that's what they told us you can bring. I have a tad bit more than $50. Actually, I have nothing in my pocket, but let's just say I'm not broke. I'm sitting here at 3 in the morning talking to a damn phone, not worrying about, oh, will somebody expect this from me? No, everybody that expects something from me is taken care of. All because I got high one day. That's another thing that made me realize, like, I start writing jokes about it. You know, you ever been so high you start to see things clearly? Like, imagine, like, it's just the United States military. Everybody goes around says, "Thank you for your service." You know, all the service you thank soldiers for are felonies inside America, and you're thanking him for it, and he's watching people that do the same thing that he did that you call service, but when they do it in this country, they lock them up and call them serial killers. But if you do it for this country, they give you an MO. They teach you how to do it. Oh, you just use a gun. You are an edge weapons guy. You you don't get to see him. Why? Because you just send the command, and you drop a mortar. You get the point. But I'm not saying all that to say, hey man, world's fucked up or whatever. It is what it is, man. The world is what the world is, and it's going to be that way. Let's just look at it from the logic standpoint, right? Let's logically look at this. Let's be generous and say the average human lives to be 100 years old. Let's just be generous, right? Right? It's literally like 70 or 80 something average nowadays, which is weird going down. But if the average human lives to be 100, and like for me, myself, I'm pushing 50, and I did the math. I have less than 10,000 days left on Earth, according to insurance and my health. How much of that do I want to spend fighting a system with the momentum of eons that's been around longer than any living human? And it's been doing the same thing. The purpose of any system is to make the system get bigger, to expand the system. Humans are a system. That's why you chase ass, because you want to expand your human, your DNA. Well, a system's a system. They're trying to grow. And those systems have been around as long as humans have been around. So there's things that have been passed along that people don't even know why they do. All the rules and limitations that every last one of you follow, you didn't even write. You ever think about that? Maybe write some rules for yourself to follow. And they go like, no, you have to follow our rules because remember, we said thou shalt not kill. I'm like, no, you put that in words. That was here before you. You didn't come up with it. System. It was here before you. The system needs constituents to function. And you're either gonna work, you're gonna feed the system, or you're gonna become food for the system. Or you're gonna realize, wake up one day and go, I live in America and the government has an EIN. So if I get an EIN, which you can just go to irs.gov and get one, and start a business and go like, I can provide advice to soldiers who are getting out, and all of a sudden they pay you. I try to get a job. I know I said I was talking a lot of shit, but I tried to get a job because I was having a panic attack. I had had a job for such a long time. And I tried to get a job and then realized I didn't want one. And and I didn't even think about if I needed one or not. My mind was just so hooked on this pattern of you gotta have this that when one ended, when I retired from the military, I immediately started. Oh, and then I went through the whole manufacturing technician course and got done with it. And it was ironically 9 weeks long, which is the same length as basic training for the United States Army. And I went, hey, wait a minute. Am I repeating this whole process? Did I enjoy the last 20 years? And I realized I didn't. So I'm a very highly qualified manufacturer's tech, forklift certified too. But I ain't working for no damn manufacturing plant. I went to those manufacturing. I went from Toyota, Cargill, Mars, Coca-Cola, Beltec was weird. All the augers that you've ever seen, whether it's John Deere, Dirt Devil, or whatever, they're all made by one company. All the turkeys, at least in Texas, in November, you can go to HEB and get turkey, or you go to Walmart and get turkey, or go to whatever and get turkey, and all those turkeys come from Cargill, one fucking factory. Private company too. They run oil in the Middle East too. That's a kind of weird thing. I'm not saying you should, but if you, Rick Wallace, it's like, I'm you're 71. Cool. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're 71. You've lived your 20s and seen, man, 71 was right after World War II. And then yeah, I think my pops is getting there too. I think he's up there. Excuse me. Oh yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Nitrous Oxide, welcome back, brother. How's everything going? Who's on here? Yep. Dude, Rick Wallace, thank you. I no, dude, I appreciate that somebody enjoys, like, at least is getting some value from this, man. If you're getting some type of value from this, even if it's just, hey man, you're just here by yourself, thank you. Freaking, if you think somebody would like it, by all means, man. And the one thing that I kind of don't do is, like I said, I'm just here being me. Is I don't. A lot of people are like, oh man, ask people to subscribe and go join. Like, no, no. If I say something, it means something, or like that's a lot, bro. I'm not gonna ask people to subscribe to something. That's Your attention is the only currency that you have that is worth something. And that's why these companies pay a lot for this. That's why I'm not over here and trying to like make up some no, I'm speaking directly who I am from the heart to you guys, bro. None of this is scripted. Now, I am human, so you're going to hear me repeat a bunch of stuff because it's just things that don't make sense. That's why I keep saying them all the time. Like one of the I don't know, I'm not speaking ill at anyone. I just stating, let's say, you, me, and a couple other guys, and we live together. We start this whole journey together. We're like, hey man, we're gonna hustle, do this, and we're all like literally, we see each other every day. You know, everybody's doing their own hustle, doing their own thing, and then fast forward a couple of years, you're all still in the same spot as far as place to live, but now you're not struggling. You guys go to the same things, do the same thing, but now you're not struggling. Somehow you're getting your shit together. Now you're not going out if you don't need to. You're eating ramen noodles and tuna. You know, you're having a once a month pizza night just by yourself, but you're literally living on maybe $1,500 a month total for 3 years. But a year into it, your hustle is bringing in $5,000 a month. You're still living on $1,500 a month. And instead of going, check this out, this no, I just pushed it away. Every little thing. Even if I was playing guitar in the street corner and somebody put some whatever change in there, I'll find a way to get that into a bank account. And not even the bank account. As soon as I realized that you can just, as an individual, invest in like the stock market and other assets, I'm like, wait, you can do that? Yeah, that was my frustration. I got a whole thing about I talk about it on stage about it because I remember the day I hit a button on the internet and money showed up in my account and it was enough to take care of everything. And I got emotional because I realized that this whole thing that I'm doing, this whole system, the US stock market, investing, trading, and the ability Google, YouTube, Yahoo Finance has been available in the United States of America the whole time I've been here. And it wasn't until about 2 months ago when I realized I hit a button and I realized that. And I realized that I had a wife and kids at the time. And they were suffering with me, they were struggling with me. And I got emotional because I realized they didn't have to, but they were with me. And as a man, I didn't know how. So we just struggled with what we know. So the first thing I did when I got on my feet is I took care of my ex wife. Bro, I never changed a diaper or did laundry the whole time we were married, or dishes for that matter. I just never realized that. And then I also realized, like, yeah, I'm smoking weed now, but at the time I wasn't, but I was a raging alcoholic. And now I stopped drinking because I sat down one day when I started comedy 6 years ago. And I took out a piece of paper because it was like 8 a.m. and I was on my way to see my mother, and I was two Tanquerays in. So I sat down and just in the truck, and I just took out a piece of paper and just went, when was the last time did I that when was the last time alcohol was a net positive? Like I drank alcohol and it ended up being good. Not one time. I was 40 at that time, and not one time. I drank throughout my military career. It's over 2 decades. I drank before that. And that was the last drink I had. Those I haven't drank since. And then I got high, and that, oh boy. I got high and went, wait a minute. What? You're telling me that I can just put money in this, like I could just, all this extra money, like I don't have to have a savings account or a checking account. Those are just pass through accounts. Oh, a bank is just like a store. It has products, and they're pushing products to you that pay them the most. And I was like, so when I just did the math. If I give what do they do with my money? Why do I need a bank? I just asked because I was high. I just kept asking. And the more functions that they were doing that I could take, like if I could just go pay somebody, if I could auto any money that I transfer go straight into an investment account or into an asset base that I can't touch. I didn't know you could do all that. I didn't know that if you work somewhere, you can just ask to be paid in stock. Did you, that's crazy. If I'd have known that 20 years ago, it's a good thing I didn't because I was not a good person. I'm glad I sobered up and learned this. Because if I had this level of freedom and this level of financial security, and I was that raging alcoholic and that asshole, that shit's just gonna make it bigger. But because I was a raging alcoholic, I couldn't have any of this. So I drank a fifth a day, and that's a minimum. A fifth a day, let's just say it's $20, it'd be minimum. 2 times 30. We already did this math. $40 is $1,200 a month, so that's $600. That's what I invested, and here we are. Rick Wallace. This was an amazing time. I appreciate you coming here, hanging out. Oh, yeah, silly goose. Ooh, that's a big fire. All right, guys. This was amazing. See you guys tomorrow, or a little bit, couple hours. I love y'all. Peace. Rick Wallace, thank you. You're awesome.